The Ethiopian Bible is often hailed as the most complete and ancient version of the Bible, but it also holds a much deeper significance for Africa and Africans than many realize. While most people are familiar with the 66 books of the Western Bible, the Ethiopian Bible includes 81 books, containing sacred texts that tie directly into Africa's ancient history, spiritual traditions, and legacy. For centuries, Ethiopia has been a center of Christian worship and biblical scholarship, preserving a version of the Bible that many believe to be the truest, unaltered representation of early Christianity. But what hidden connections does this Bible reveal between Africa and the stories of the Bible? Today, we uncover the African connection that many have overlooked in the Ethiopian Bible and provide evidence for why this sacred text is a cornerstone of African spirituality and history. The ancient African Christian connection. Christianity in Ethiopia dates back to the 4th century AD, when King Ezana of Aksum converted to Christianity, making Ethiopia one of the first nations in the world to adopt the religion. But Ethiopia's connection to Christianity goes back even further, tracing its roots to the biblical narrative of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. According to Ethiopian tradition, the Queen of Sheba visited King Solomon in Jerusalem, and their union produced a son, Menelik I, the founder of the Solomonic dynasty in Ethiopia. Menelik I is also said to have brought the Ark of the Covenant back to Ethiopia, where it remains to this day, according to Ethiopian Christians. This connection places Ethiopia and Africans squarely at the heart of the biblical story, positioning Ethiopia not as a remote Christian outpost, but as a direct link to the sacred narratives of the Bible. This legacy is preserved in the Ethiopian Bible, which contains several texts that were excluded from Western versions, including books with specific African relevance. The Book of Enoch and its African roots. One of the most significant texts in the Ethiopian Bible is the Book of Enoch, a book that was excluded from the Western Bible during the Council of Nicaea. However, it has been preserved in Ethiopia for millennia. The Book of Enoch describes the Watchers, a group of angels who descended to earth and taught forbidden knowledge to humans, resulting in the birth of the Nephilim, or giants. The story of the Watchers closely mirrors many African spiritual traditions that speak of divine beings who once walked among humans, sharing their wisdom and power. What makes the Book of Enoch particularly fascinating for Africa is that this ancient text was preserved only in Ethiopia, providing a direct link between African spiritual traditions and early Christian teachings. Its inclusion in the Ethiopian Bible suggests that African Christians were entrusted with preserving this critical piece of biblical knowledge that was lost to the West. The Ark of the Covenant in Ethiopia, an African legacy. The Ethiopian Bible also contains references to the Ark of the Covenant, one of the most sacred and mysterious relics in biblical history. According to Ethiopian tradition, the Ark was brought to Ethiopia by Menelik I, the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. It is said to be housed in the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in the city of Aksum, where it is guarded by a single monk who is forbidden to leave the grounds. The Ark has been at the center of Ethiopia's religious identity for centuries, and its presence in Ethiopia places the country as a custodian of one of the most sacred objects in Judeo-Christian tradition. This direct link between Ethiopia and the Ark of the Covenant ties the African continent to the Bible in a unique and powerful way. For centuries, Ethiopians have believed that they were chosen to safeguard this holy relic, further reinforcing Africa's critical role in the biblical narrative. African heritage in the Ethiopian Bible. Many of the extra books found in the Ethiopian Bible contain spiritual knowledge that resonates with African beliefs. For instance, the Book of Jubilees gives an alternate version of Genesis, with more detailed descriptions of creation, the patriarchs, and the laws given to Moses. This book provides insight into how early African Christians understood their place in biblical history, seeing themselves as direct heirs to the spiritual traditions of the early Israelites. In addition to the Book of Jubilees, the Kebra Nagast, a book revered by Ethiopians but not included in the Western Bible, recounts the story of the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon, further emphasizing the African lineage of the Solomonic dynasty. The text also claims that the true lineage of David's throne resides in Ethiopia, not in Israel, a claim that has shaped Ethiopia's royal and spiritual identity for centuries. African Christianity before the West. While many think of Christianity as being introduced to Africa by European missionaries, the Ethiopian Bible and the Christian tradition in Ethiopia tell a different story. Christianity flourished in Ethiopia centuries before European colonialism, and the Ethiopian Bible is evidence of this ancient Christian heritage that existed independently from Rome and the West. This African version of Christianity was rich with unique interpretations of the faith, deeply tied to African spiritual practices and beliefs. Why the Ethiopian Bible matters to Africans today. The Ethiopian Bible is more than a religious text. It is a cultural and spiritual link that connects Africans to their ancient Christian roots. In a world where the history of Africa is often overlooked or forgotten, the Ethiopian Bible stands as a reminder of the continent's critical role in the development of Christianity. It preserves knowledge and stories that were excluded from the Western Bible, offering African Christians a version of the Bible that is uniquely theirs. The Ethiopian Bible is not just an ancient text, it is a powerful symbol of Africa's rich spiritual heritage. From the Book of Enoch to the Ark of the Covenant, the Ethiopian Bible contains forgotten knowledge that ties Africa directly into the biblical narrative. As scholars and believers alike rediscover this ancient Bible, they uncover a version of Christianity that was born in Africa and preserved by Africans. Could this be the true Bible? As we delve deeper into its hidden books and untold stories, we may find that Africa's role in the Bible is far more profound than we ever realized.